Have you ever felt like your brain is tuned to a different frequency? Like you're catching radio stations nobody else hears? That's the secret a lot of INFJs carry in silence. The world thinks in straight lines. INFJs think in constellations. They sense patterns before proof, feel emotions before words, and need quiet the way others need caffeine. And when people ask, "Why are you like this?" the honest answer is simple. Their wiring isn't typical. Not broken. Not better. Just different. Today we're unpacking 6 powerful reasons why so many INFJs resonate with the neurodivergent experience, how they process, feel, create, and recharge in ways that don't fit the usual template. Quick note before we begin. This video is not medical advice or a diagnosis. Neurodivergent is a broad umbrella that includes many experiences. Our goal here is understanding, giving language to a pattern INFJs often feel but can't always explain. Let's set the stage. Neurodivergent usually refers to brains that operate differently from the statistical norm. Think differences in attention, sensory processing, communication, or cognition. Many INFJs hear that word and whisper, "That's me," even without a formal label. Why? Because INFJ cognition is anything but standard. Their inner world is layered, nonlinear, and intense. They notice subtext. They hear the emotional baseline behind the conversation. They predict outcomes without showing their math. They love deeply, crash hard, and need solitude like oxygen. In a world designed for quick answers and bright rooms, that can feel alien. But it's also a superpower. So let's dig into the 6 reasons. Reason 1, their cognitive style is nonlinear and pattern-driven. An INFJ's mind doesn't march, it migrates. While most people gather facts and climb a ladder of logic step by step, INFJs tend to pull threads from everywhere and weave a tapestry in the background. They absorb microsignals, tone shifts, pauses, inconsistencies, historical patterns, body language, and then a conclusion arrives like a flash. To outsiders, it looks like a leap. To the INFJ, it's the only path that makes sense. They often can't show you the breadcrumb trail because the trail formed while they were busy listening and feeling. This is why INFJs will say, "I just know," and then later watch events unfold exactly as they sensed. It's not magic, it's pattern recognition running silently, constantly. This way of thinking can clash with environments that prize visible, linear reasoning, classrooms, meetings, rapid-fire debates. The INFJ has the answer but not the slide deck. They want to discuss root causes while the group is still patching symptoms. They want to redesign the system while everyone else is stuck on the spreadsheet. When they're forced into a rigid sequence, it feels like trying to pour an ocean through a straw. But give them space to synthesize, and they produce startling clarity. That quiet, internal, pattern-driven processing is deeply aligned with how many neurodivergent minds operate. Less one step after another, more many inputs, one insight. Reason 2. Sensory and environmental sensitivity are real, not being dramatic. Picture this. The lights are a little too bright, 4 conversations are colliding in the same air, there's a vent humming in the ceiling, and someone's perfume won't quit. Most people notice 1 or 2 of those things. INFJs register all of them. Their nervous system picks up detail the way a high-resolution camera captures pixels. Over time, that flood becomes heat. It's why a party that looks chill to others can feel like a storm for an INFJ. It's why open-plan offices drain them. It's why they guard their mornings, dim their rooms, and curate their playlists like medicine. Sensitivity isn't weakness, it's bandwidth management. When an INFJ disappears after a busy day, they aren't rejecting people, they're lowering the volume inside their body. Many describe stress as physical, tight chest, buzzing limbs, pressure behind the eyes. Even joy can spike their system. They'll need quiet after good news just as they would after bad news. The world often mistakes this for moodiness. In reality, it's an intelligent response to too much input. Think of the INFJ as running powerful software on a small battery. Bright rooms, loud spaces, constant pings, these eat battery life fast. Their weird rituals, noise-canceling headphones, tidy spaces, soft textures, predictable routines, aren't quirks. They're a nervous system care plan. Reason 3, empathy isn't a trait, it's an immersive experience. Most people feel for you. INFJs feel with you. They mirror emotional states so intensely that another person's anxiety shows up as a knot in their own stomach. A friend's grief becomes a weight in their own chest. And yes, a stranger's joy can make their whole day warmer. The downside? It's hard to separate mine from yours. After a single difficult conversation, they might need hours to recalibrate. A tense room can derail their focus for the rest of the afternoon. They will replay a 5-minute interaction for days, scanning for what you didn't say but felt. This depth of empathy is a gift in relationships, counseling, teaching, leadership, and art. It gives the INFJ a sixth sense for subtext and timing. They know when to speak and when to stay silent. They can translate feelings into words for people who don't have the vocabulary. But empathy that strong has a cost. Emotional saturation leads to shutdown, fewer texts, shorter replies, lights out. That isn't punishment, it's triage. The INFJ is wringing out a soaked sponge. When they return, they're present again. Clear eyes, warm tone, steady voice. If you love an INFJ, understand this rhythm. If you are one, honor it. Protection doesn't diminish compassion, it preserves it. Reason 4, solitude isn't optional, it's the operating system. All introverts need alone time, but INFJs treat it like a daily appointment with their own soul. Without it, the mind clutters, intuition blurs, and every problem looks bigger than it is. With it, everything snaps into focus. They can track threads, organize insights, and metabolize emotion. Some call this hermit mode. It's more like maintenance mode. In solitude, the INFJ resets their filters, restores their patience, and remembers what matters. They're not avoiding life, they're edging closer to truth. This is also why INFJs crave depth over breadth. One dinner with one real conversation beats 5 catch-ups in loud rooms. They work best in long, quiet stretches rather than in fractured 20-minute blocks. They want to stick with a single project until they can feel its heartbeat. In groups, constant switching creates static in their head. Solitude heals the static. A walk. A notebook. A favorite chair. A tidy desk. A day with no notifications. That's not indulgence, that's calibration. They come back kinder, sharper, and more courageous. And yes, sometimes they'll cancel plans. Not because you don't matter, but because they want to show up fully next time instead of half present now. Reason 5, creativity flows in spirals, not straight lines. Ask an INFJ where their best ideas arrive and they'll shrug. The shower. The train. Half asleep. After I gave up. Their creative process is non-linear on purpose. They collect symbols and metaphors like seashells, then build entire worlds from them. Stories, solutions, frameworks, designs. They start at the ending and write backward. They chase a metaphor that seems unrelated and realize it solves a practical problem. They step away from a draft and return with a completely new architecture. From the outside, it looks like chaos. From the inside, there's a pattern, and the pattern is alive. If you force an INFJ to produce on a rigid timeline while turning off the feelings that fuel their work, quality collapses. But give them freedom to wander, to incubate, to follow intuition's thread, and they'll craft something elegant and unexpected. This is why INFJs often end up as storytellers, strategists, therapists, brand architects, teachers, and systems thinkers. They can hold the human and the structural at the same time. Their art, whether it's a poem, a program, or a plan, always contains a hidden door. Once you step through, you see the whole differently. That spiral path is quintessentially INFJ and resonates strongly with creative patterns many neurodivergent folks report. Bursts of insight, periods of incubation, sudden integration. Reason 6, executive functioning can lag behind insight, and that's frustrating. Here's the paradox that confuses friends, bosses, and even INFJs themselves. How can someone so insightful struggle with everyday logistics? Simple, different circuits. The same brain that can intuit the long-term consequences of a decision may freeze at the first step of implementation. The mind is busy forecasting ripple effects, weighing ethics, mapping emotions, and the calendar invite never gets sent. Time becomes foggy. 10 minutes stretch into 2 hours. A tiny task triggers dread. Too many choices feel like quicksand. And when overwhelm hits, the INFJ disappears into research, rearranges their desk, or takes just a minute to think. Then the day is gone. This doesn't mean INFJs are doomed to chaos. It means they need systems that respect their wiring. Fewer decisions, clearer priorities, visible timelines, gentle accountability, and meaningful stakes. When the task connects to purpose, the engine finally turns over. When it's all fragmentation and noise, the engine sputters. Many INFJs thrive with bridges between vision and action. Time blocking with generous buffers, a single capture system for ideas, a whiteboard that shows one next step, body doubling, working quietly alongside another person, and if-then cues. If it's 9 a.m., then I open the document and write 3 sentences. The goal isn't to flatten their depth. It's to harness it. Let's pull the 6 together. The INFJ way: pattern-driven thinking, high sensory bandwidth, immersive empathy, solitude as oxygen, spiral creativity, and wobbly executive functioning, doesn't align with the culture's default settings. That mismatch can make INFJs feel wrong for being who they are. They're told, lighten up, move faster, don't overthink, come out more, be less sensitive. The subtext is brutal. Mute yourself to fit. But the world doesn't need a muted INFJ. It needs an INFJ who knows how to protect their inputs, honor their rhythms, and translate their insights into action without burning out. So what does that look like practically? It looks like designing your life around energy, not image. Choose lights and sounds that keep your nervous system steady. Curate your spaces. Keep one soft thing near your desk. Let your calendar show oxygen, not just obligations. Build a recovery ritual after intense interactions. A walk, water, a page of journaling, 2 songs with your eyes closed. It looks like naming what you feel before it names you. If you're soaked with secondhand emotions, say it, at least to yourself. I'm carrying someone else's storm. Then do a reset. Hands under warm water. Slow exhale. 3 sentences of truth. I'm safe. That wasn't mine. I can lay it down. Most of all, it looks like rewriting the story. Different doesn't mean defective. Sensitivity isn't fragility, it's precision. Solitude isn't avoidance, it's alignment. Nonlinear thinking isn't confusion, it's complexity compressed. The very traits that set you apart are the traits the culture will one day depend on. The ability to forecast consequences, to feel what others can't articulate, to design systems that serve the human heart. If you're an INFJ listening to this, here's your reminder. You're not too much, you're exquisitely tuned. You're not too sensitive, you're accurately sensing. You're not indecisive, you're ethical and thorough. You're not antisocial, you're protecting the art inside you. The world may never fully understand the way your mind braids logic with love. That's okay. Your job isn't to be understood by everyone. Your job is to understand yourself deeply enough to operate well, and then offer your gifts where they'll be received.